Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, Books, Girls, and Purrs. My name's Leslie, and as you can tell, this is an author-focused reading wrap-up. All right, on top of that, this is actually the first wrap-up video I'm doing for the entire year, and it's already July. I finished this project wrap-up video before I even finished my first project. Um, If you're new to this channel, I do wrap up segments this year. The way I'm handling it is like per project. So I have an ongoing project, an ongoing series where I tackle my small bookshelves. I'm still on my first bookshelf. I have like one more book to tackle in that assignment, but I'm putting that aside for a second because I really wanted to shift gears. Last year, I had the setup similar. Actually, it was this. Every month I would focus on an author, and I really like that format and I miss it. And to take a break of my overall small shelf project, I'm doing this. I'm going to go back to it. I just need a break. All right. So uh, my focus is Margaret Pinard. She's an independent author. She writes historical fiction, speculative fiction, and I guess some of her speculative could be considered like fantasy. She also has a YouTube channel. So not only is this an author-focused assignment, it's really an author-tube assignment. And so that's also something that I want to do over time is switch all my author-focused assignments to individuals that also have a YouTube channel. I just think that'd be kind of cool to support the community. All right, where do I start? You know what? I'm going to start with The Remnants. It's a trilogy, historical fiction, family saga. It starts out with The Keening, The Grasping Root, and I just finished recently Stormwreck and Spindrift. This takes place, it starts off in Scotland, and then the family finds himself in Canada, and it all starts out around 1822. The kelp industry has collapsed. The world at that time was just becoming fastly industrialized. And because of that, families, not just the one that we're reading about, but they are the focus, were forced off their land. And just out of survival, they had to migrate and they had to figure out, okay, where are we going to live? How are we going to survive? And this is a multi-generational story. So it follows the McLean family. Am I saying that right? Yeah, the McLean family. The head of the household is Sheila and her husband, Galen, I think. And then in the second book, they're still in it, but it's like the two eldest kids become more of the focus. And then the third book is, I think, the two younger children of the brood become the focus. But you're keeping track of all of them. And so what we see is just through a historical fiction lens, how this family just gets hit time and time again by just obstacles, whether it's like religious or political. We have to think about like gender dynamics. And when a family is in survivor mode, what can someone do as a male? What can someone do as a female? And also how does those elements like hinder them as well? There's just a lot going on. I absolutely love this book series. If you're into historical fiction, or if you're into like learning about history but you don't know where to start, I really love reading family sagas because I feel like it really puts the information into context in a way that's just, I guess, more, how do I say this, more accessible. And that's also something that I like about the author's prose. I'd have to say that because there's such a complex story going on throughout all three books, the author chooses like simple prose, but the language is still kind of written lightly in like this historical, how do I say this, dialect format. And what I like about that is that felt accessible to the reader because I have read other books. Um, oh, I should give an example. That are meant to have like a historical like context, but I haven't really liked the way that the authors handle dialogue always. Like it just doesn't seem like to flow very well. This flew the flow was just like great for this. So I think you'll really enjoy this. All right, so you know what? I'm gonna rate all of these at the end because I have to make a rating system sometimes because I haven't been doing that. All right. I also read the Stygian collection. This is an anthology. Uh, Margaret Pinard is a contributor. Now, this anthology is pretty cool, and it's one of the reasons why I'm really thinking about anytime I do an author focus segment to focus on authors that have a YouTube channel, because every single one of these authors in this book also has a YouTube channel. And I really like that idea because if I go in the back, there's these like blurbs about each author, and there's like a photo of the author, and it's not just like your typical profile on the back of the book. They're pretty lengthy, and I like that we get to learn about all these different authors. I thought that was really cool, and I was really surprised to see Jolene Smith in here. I love her channel, and so yeah, I really love the format. I love the idea of this, and this anthology series is really talking about like the dark recesses of humanity, and each author has agency to tackle that however they want to. And I thought that was really cool because there's so many genres that are in here. Some of them felt like nods to like historical authors or just like other work. It's just a great way to get an idea of an author's influence and also just to be introduced to different authors. Now, Margaret's, let me see, contribution is a short story called Space Ghost Heartbeat. I love the name. um, she really does have a knack for picking out great names because I loved the titles of the Remnants trilogy. Every single one I thought was really great and just kind of like, I don't know, has a melody to when I'm saying the titles. Anyways, so in this short story that Margaret wrote, it has a male protagonist. The story is set into the future. And I think I kind of felt like this starts out like you're just like getting to know this person's like everyday life, what they do. But it goes deeper that there's like I almost don't want to give it away, but it's really saying like about how we treat the earth, basically. I know that's not the best way to like describe it. There's so much going on in this short story, but I really liked it. And I liked what the author did in creating a male protagonist. I found that fascinating, and yeah, I don't want to ruin it. It's just like pick it up, read it. I enjoyed it. All right. I forgot my Kindle. It's in the other room and I'm not going to go pick it up. But lastly, I read the short story collection called Fabled Passages. I liked it. And actually, you know what? It's been a while. I think that was the first one I read. So I'm just going to read some notes about it because I don't know if I'm going to remember everything. So there's 8 stories. And within these 8 short story collections, siblings are cursed and blessed by gods. A widow, haunted by their late wife, is at their wits' end, and a man is pulled through time and must figure out why. So there's like some historical elements. There's also some speculative fiction, sci-fi elements. There's also one that I thought like it wasn't a romance, but I almost pictured it as a romance, if that makes any sense. That I really enjoyed, and I also felt like it was in the vein of, oh gosh, what is that show called that everybody likes watching? What is it called? Oh my gosh, Outlander. yeah, I was thinking of Outlander when I was reading one of the short stories in Fabled Passages. There is also a short story in there that I felt like was touching upon like social injustices and how a person can hurt or contribute to society at large. And I absolutely love that short story. So that short story collection really packs a punch, and I really liked it. Um, I'm feeling so good for finally having a wrap up for once. All right, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm pretty sure for all the books, I've already rated them and put them on either the short non-spoiler section. But I'm gonna handle this different. I'm going to rate these 1 through 5 uh, per rating, a meow rating, if you will. And I'm going to go ahead and whatever I give one rating for one group of books, I can't give to another. So we'll do it like on a scale, basically. So I have to say, also I just read the Remnants trilogy, so it's just like fresh on my mind. I'm gonna give the Remnants trilogy 5 stars all the way. So many sticky notes, and I have plenty of questions. Anyways, let me not go there. I was going to go off on a tangent, but yeah, 5 stars all the way. If you're interested in learning a little bit about Scottish history and don't really know where to start, this is a place. And then, okay, so that was 5 meows. Okay, I keep saying stars. We'll go 5 meows for that. So then I'll give the Stygian collection 4 meows. I'll do that. 4 meows for this. And I could imagine giving the Fable Passages 3. So I'll give Fable Passages like 4.5 stars, which I'm kind of cheating my own system. But I think I'll do that. So yes, I really enjoyed this wrap up. I really liked just focusing on one author. Again, it gives me a chance to kind of like get an indication of what's like important to that author, what they like writing. And so with this, I felt like we're stepping into excuse me. There is kind of like it's not heavy-handed, but I feel like there is a talk throughout, right, of reading all of the author's work about like what is the environmental impact from what us as people are doing here on Earth. What has society done to really hurt us, and what are the patterns of those social injustices? And I definitely felt like that has been threaded throughout this author's work, and so I really appreciated that. And I wasn't necessarily expecting that, but that's actually right up my alley of the type of material I like to read. And especially with the fact that I don't really stick to one particular genre. I just want to know that um, the work that I'm reading is reflecting what's going on in the world. And yeah, that's really what history does. It just really kind of teases out the patterns of things that are going on today. So yeah, love those books. So that since we're basically at the end of my wrap up, I decided that every time I do a reading wrap up, I'm going to shout out other channels based on how many books I finished. So I just finished 5 books by one author, but since this is an author focused assignment, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shout out channels that are of other Authortubers. I thought that'd be kind of cool. So, oh, and yeah, after this, when this segment is available, go ahead and look in the details. I will have these channels listed in the details, just so you know. Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and just hide myself for a second so it doesn't look weird. All right, so the first Authortuber is SelfPub Andy. I love Andy's channel. Andy has quite a few sprints. He's an Authortuber, so it's an Authortuber focused, community. But he really has some very chatty sprints. Sometimes it's like 50% productivity, 50% chat. Sometimes it's like 70% chatting over getting any work done. And on the weekends, I just like really enjoyed being a part of that. even though I am not an author, I'm just a reader, but he just really gives like such a lovely community feel, and I'm definitely big on that. And just an overall sweet person. So check out his channel. The next one is Morgan Lee. Morgan Lee is an author. I have not read their stuff yet. I cannot wait to read their stuff though. So in her about section, she wrote that she talks about writing, publishing, Crohn's disease, and the journey of life throughout it all. And they have a video that says writing diverse characters, and I really love that. Just kind of like stepping into like their process. They've also been a part of something called NaNoWriMo, which I was not aware of until I've kind of come in contact with the Authortuber community. So I've just really enjoyed the material that they put out, and I really look forward to also reading their work. I definitely want to have a segment where I focus on Morgan Lee's books that I have not read yet. And the third person is SD Hudson. I've talked about the channel before. Her name is Shannon. She writes fantasy, and I've said this time and time again, I don't really gravitate towards fantasy. So any genre that I don't necessarily gravitate towards, I make an effort to dig into. Shannon also loves dragons, so there's definitely plenty of like books that they've written that revolve around or have characters of dragons in there. And they also have productivity sprints that are super early. I'm on Pacific time, so theirs are like at 6 a.m. Pacific time, and they're just productivity sprints. And theirs don't have any sound on it, so if you're sound sensitive, that would be like a great channel to go to. And she also has a playlist of timers. So if you're a booktuber, or you're just someone that wants to do productivity at home and you just need like the motivation, Shannon has timers and just productivity sprints that are like really helpful. All right, and we are on Chelsea's, I think, I can't remember. Yeah, CM Lockhart is how they go by. I also want to read Chelsea's work, which I haven't done yet, but they do have a book that was out, I believe, recently. It's called We Are the Origin. And on their page, you can see that they even have a schedule out, when they chat, when they sprint, author interviews. And I've really, really enjoyed the author interviews. I mean, as someone that's a reader, I love learning about like the inner workings, the whole enchilada, the whole process of putting a book together. I just think that's incredibly fascinating. So yeah, definitely check out Written in Melanin. And lastly, but not least, Emma Bennett. Emma Bennett is an absolute joy. You will also see her quite a bit on Andy's sprints as well. They tend to team up. Emma Bennett is a romance writer. I could kick myself because I have a couple of books by the author, and I just realized I should have grabbed them. She put out a book. It's called A Christmas Truce, and even though it's the cover is like the way it's marketed is like a holiday read, but I'd have to say like 2/3, if not like 3/4 of the book is not necessarily involved at Christmas. It's towards the end, and so it's just a all around great romance read. Just year round. I really enjoyed it. I just saw her, Emma Bennett, talking about how well her book, A Christmas Truce, is doing year round. And I really think it's a testament to her writing, kind of like this easy breezy romance where you find yourself rooting for both characters. And I do have a couple of other books. I think she has like that I want to read in December. There's like The Baby Plan. And there's another one that has like really cozy cover that I can't think of at this moment. But I've really enjoyed reading her work so far. And just to circle back to her YouTube channel, she's also written a book during the NaNoWriMo events. She does do sprints, but usually it's like a joint thing. And she definitely also talks about like just the process of being a writer. And she definitely gives a lot of tips. And she has lots of shorts that are giving tips to other authors that, you know, once again, I'm not an author, but I've just enjoyed her I don't know, her positivity and her knack for like engaging people and creating that sense of community by like trying to help out each other out. I just think that's really beautiful. So I've definitely really enjoyed that about the Authortube community. So that is 5 people I've highlighted. Where was I? Okay, here we are. I think that's it. Okay, so what do I have going on? I I have plenty of videos that I need to create regarding Interview the Vampire. It's coming. For those of you that are watching this, if there's any crossover, thank you for waiting. I'm getting back on track. I have so many ideas and I'm so excited. And if I could just pause time and get it all done, I would. So there's plenty of content that's going on with that. Um, I do have to read one book before I jump to finishing my other small shelf, my first small shelf. And what was the other thing? Um, oh gosh, I have something else that I need to work on. There's a lot. So if you are returning subscriber, thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. I couldn't do this without your support. I really mean it. If you're new here, please like, it'll boost me in the algorithm. And please subscribe. I've definitely seen an influx of people and I appreciate it, but I just um, continue to just like I really enjoy engaging with all of you. And I'm enjoying the chats. I just love just being able to spend the time and have the conversations and just know that if you ever read a comment and it's like 5 paragraphs long or more, please keep doing it. Don't feel bad. I love just engaging. You could write a whole dissertation about a book and I'm going to read it. All right, everyone. Let me not make this too long. I love you all. I hope you're all doing well, and I'll see you in the chat.